So just a reminder, these mics need to be held pretty close to your face.
Okay.
Like, you don't have to like garble yourself, but they need to be held up instead of down.
Okay.
And backgrounds in a spirit of shared humanity. And we believe that when we take the time to listen and to truly understand, we learn from one another. We learn from one another's history, from each other's experiences, and we create a foundation for meaningful connection and lasting change. That's why conversations like tonight and the politics of Jesus really matter. Tonight we'll explore how faith, theology, and civic life intersect, not as a debate, but as an invitation. It's an invitation to understand how the past has shaped the present moment, how we might engage with one another with greater empathy and civility, even when we disagree. And that's not new to One Jacks. This is part of our entire body of work. At One Jacks, through our interfaith initiatives, we create spaces for dialogue that move us from tolerance to true understanding. And through our Sandy Miller One Youth programs, we help the next generation of young people develop emotional intelligence and to lead with courage. And through our Breaking Bread and Barriers civil discourse series, we bring neighbors together and invite them to wrestle with big questions across lines of difference. And for 55 years, we have hosted the city's Humanitarian Awards. Through our annual Humanitarian Awards, we celebrate those in our community who model what it means to live their values out loud. People who lead with integrity, who build bridges, and who remind us that hope and understanding are not abstract ideas, but everyday choices that we can make. So tonight, as we enter into this dialogue, I invite you to join us with the same spirit. We're not just discussing history or theology. We are practicing the kind of engagement that can transform a community. Thank you for being here, for lending your perspective. Thank you to all of our panelists for joining in this discussion, and for all of you joining in the ongoing work of One Jacks, so that we can make Jacksonville a place where everyone is heard and respected. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Reverend Rebecca McLeod-Hutto, the Director of Interfaith and Cultural Programs at One Jacks, to get us started. Thank you.
Starting with Protestant clergy, we're going to talk about the theological and historical history of the separation of church and state in the U.S. We realize that these panelists tonight are a small selection of Christianity, but we wanted to start this conversation tonight based in the Protestant Reformation. The hope is that this dialogue will grow beyond white Protestant Christianity to the rich diversity within the Christian tradition. And then further, we want to have more interfaith dialogue on the importance of the separation of our religious organizations and the state. Tonight, our goal, as stated in the event information, is to explore how the Protestant Reformation shaped not only new Christian denominations, but also new ideas about the relationship between the church and secular power. As our panelists talk, please note that we will have a Q&A afterwards. You have paper and pen for our two center aisles that are on the end if you want to share those narthex cards with each other, if you want to write down questions. And then we will have staff come around and collect those questions that we can ask our panelists. And you'll also notice, if you didn't on the way in, that a timeline was prepared, thank you to BJ Hutto, of this history that we're going to discuss to give you some bullet points that we might walk through.